What to make of Saturday's acquittal of Donald Trump? Well, maybe the funniest thing to happen in the wake of this trial, senators today calling for a commission to investigate what happened on January 6th. Seriously, it's like charging a guy with murder and then waiting till after his trial to analyze the evidence. Welcome to Washington. Nothing should surprise you anymore. It is our government, after all. Go ahead, investigate, I guess. Let us know what you find out. But also today, Republicans writing a letter to Nancy Pelosi. It comes with 5 questions for the House Speaker, including this one. When then Capitol Police Chief Stephen Sund made a request for National Guard support on January 4th, why was that request denied? Remember, Democrats alleged the Capitol riot was foreseeable. Why didn't they want help if it was so obvious? Another question, why are your House officers refusing to comply with preservation and production requests to turn over requested materials to the events of January 6th? These types of questions are exactly why Democrats flipped and suddenly decided not to call witnesses on Saturday. Remember, there was a minute there when we thought this thing was going to last another 2 weeks, and you were going nuts. That didn't happen, thankfully, and that's why. They don't want to put Pelosi up there. And speaking of Pelosi, Saturday's acquittal actually drove her crazy. Watch this.
They let everybody off the hook. Oh, these cowardly senators who couldn't face up to what the president did and what was at stake for our country are now going to have a chance to give a little slap on the wrist. We censure people for using stationery for the wrong purpose. We don't censure people for inciting insurrection.
Notice they're all laughing behind her. I mean, they don't really care that much. They knew they were going to lose. But Pelosi, to be fair, is not the only one angry with Donald Trump. Mitch McConnell made a very interesting speech on the Senate floor just minutes after Trump was acquitted. Take a listen to the Senate Minority Leader.
There's no question, none, that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. No question about it. If President Trump were still in office, I would have carefully considered whether the House managers proved their specific charge.
Okay. That's a big statement. That is one worth analyzing as well. What does the party look like, though, without Donald Trump? Who's leading this party without Trump? I don't think anybody has any idea, and that is a big problem for Republicans. The truth is the party, as it stands, is almost nothing without Trump. So what Mitch McConnell said, is a really big deal. Trump redefined the Republican Party, and the old definition is no longer really viable at all. Nobody's really interested in that party. Was anyone really excited about Mitt Romney in 2012? Really? Do we want to go back to that is another question. These moderates are the same Republicans that sat back and watched this country get dragged further and further and further to the left over the last 30 years. Socialism is honestly being discussed as a method of government in this country. Can you imagine? Republicans are losing the country. It's happening really fast. Trump, of course, is a flawed politician, flawed person like everybody else. His Twitter account hurt him badly in the suburbs, but at least he's a fighter. At least he stands up for what he thinks. Most Republicans are intimidated by the media and by the Democrats. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, a great example. Like so many others, he just wants to be accepted by the left. And here he is on CNN trying to make Democrats like him, saying that Trump should be held criminally accountable for January 6th.
Well, it was interesting to hear Leader McConnell's words were pretty strong. It didn't match how he voted, but I think he was moved by some of the arguments. And I think, there was yesterday's vote, but there's definitely a number of potential court cases, and I think he's still going to face, criminal courts and the court of public opinion. And this is, not over, and we're going to decide over the next couple of years what the fate of Donald Trump and the Republican Party is.
Just please don't cancel me. Come on, I'm a nice guy. I'd love a follow-up question to that, by the way. Do you think any Democrats should face the same charges for inciting months of looting and rioting last year? It's an honest question. I'd love to hear what Larry Hogan's answer is to that. So to the moderates that are trying to push him out, to push Trump out, to Cassidy, Romney, Sass, Burr, Collins, Murkowski, Toomey, and even to Mitch McConnell, a question. What do you think happens to your party without Donald Trump? If you purge him and what he believes in out of the party? Maybe you push the man out, but you push everything with him, what he stood for. Can the Republican moderates win elections? By the way, here's Donald Trump's response to the verdict, written statement here. It's a sad commentary on our times that one political party in America is given a free pass to denigrate the rule of law, defame law enforcement, cheer mobs, excuse rioters, and transform justice into a tool of political vengeance and persecute, blacklist, cancel, and suppress all people and viewpoints with whom or which they disagree. There you go. Today in Palm Beach, there was a President's Day rally. Trump decided to swing by and make an appearance. Check this out. There you go. A lot of people on the street, South Florida, West Palm Beach. There's the Publix. Look at all the support. Look at all the flags, Trump flags everywhere. It makes it clear as day. The guy's not even the president anymore. He's playing golf all the time. Donald Trump is still the epicenter of all the energy on the Republican side, whether the Republicans like it or not. There's nobody else even close to him right now. As far as the current president's part, the White House has been very quiet on all this, on impeachment. No White House press briefing today. In a statement, Biden said, while the final vote did not lead to a conviction, the substance of the charge is not in dispute. Even those opposed to the conviction, like Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, believe Donald Trump was guilty of a disgraceful dereliction of duty and practically and morally responsible for provoking the violence unleashed on the Capitol. Meanwhile, check out this headline. Progressives urge Biden to pick Attorney General to prosecute Trump. So the left wing wants Biden to pick Merrick Garland to be the AG, and they're hoping to win the case that Trump incited an insurrection in a criminal court. They want to throw him in jail now. And it makes you wonder if they'll be using that same deceptive editing that they got caught using in the trial to try and get that conviction. It is going to be pretty tough in a real court to convict a guy who's on camera telling the crowd to march peacefully and patriotically. I wouldn't want to take